folks, and welcome to this Jester special, which was prompted by what's currently happening with the NHS and an article on Glinner's blog. Hi, Graham. Called So Over the Rainbow, written by Rebecca Says No on the 23rd of March 2024. As you're aware, yesterday the news broke that the NHS is not only ignoring everything that's come before, but is actually escalating their attempts to get their hands on 16-year-olds, mostly 16-year-old boys, who can then give cross-sex hormones to. This is an indicator that something is terribly wrong. It bodes very badly indeed for Cass. It bodes very badly indeed for the future. And I am now of the opinion, though it's just me, I'm now of the opinion that the only way forward is a complete ban on any of these treatments to anyone, and a repeal of the Gender Recognition Act. This is the only way that we are going to safeguard the future for children and young people, because this is plain and simple homophobia. That's all it is. It was always driven by homophobia. It always will be driven by homophobia. They want access to the kids. So this is why this article from Rebecca Says No, which you can find on Glenda's Substack, and which the links for are in the Dubris, as I say. Let's begin. The gender zealots running the NHS Rainbow Badge scheme. We have here Dr. Joe Hartland, who, as you know, was that numpty that dug his fingers into his hands while he was so angry because of the PowerPoint presentation, made fun of, exposed, told the truth about his ridiculous, damaging, iatrogenic belief system that he pushes. There's a picture of him. And then we also have next to that Dr. Michael Brady, who is another full-blown exponent of the sterilisation, medicalisation and castration of young men. Since 2021, the NHS Rainbow Badge scheme has been in phase 2. These are the folks that are pushing this. Stonewall's website states that Stonewall and the LGBT Foundation will be working in partnership with NHS England with support from Brighton and Hove LGBT Switchboard, the LGBT Consortium, and GLAD, the Association of LGBT Doctors and Dentists. They will take the Rainbow NHS Badge scheme to the next level with a new scheme to benchmark and award NHS organisations for their work on LGBT plus inclusion. The public was not consulted in this and is unlikely to be aware of what power these controversial organisations have been given over the nationally funded health service. However, phase 2 of the scheme has received the enthusiastic endorsement of Dr. Michael Brady, who appears to be a gender activist at the heart of NHS England and is the national advice for LGBT health. The group is in charge of the Rainbow Badge scheme, uphold a belief in gender identity that the majority of the UK population does not share. For example, on the 23rd of July 2022, Stonewall received backlash for stating that children as young as 2 recognise their trans identity. In June 2023, the LGBT Foundation and NHS Confederation published national guidance on same-sex care, sparking widespread upset. The Observer's Sonia Soda reported that its advice on how to handle patients' requests for this care gets the law badly wrong and could lead NHS trusts to unlawfully discriminate against female patients. Similarly, Naomi Cunningham, a barrister specialising in employment and discrimination law, described in The Critic how the guidance fails women and encourages NHS employers to break the law. It is worth noting that the LGBT Foundation also has its own awards framework called Pride in Practice, which it uses to assess how much GP practices, dental surgeries, pharmacists and optometrists are meeting this external organisation's requirements. This is absolutely absolutely unconscionable. That these so-called LGBT groups, which do not represent gays and lesbians in any form whatsoever, they represent a homophobic, insidious belief system called gender identity ideology and a vile philosophical idea called queer theory. And they're at the heart of the NHS. They're at the heart of the NHS. They are influencing NHS policy. And they are able to do so at the highest levels. And questions must be now asked of why. Why are they able to do that? At the highest levels. Write to your MPs, folks. Write to your MPs. It's the only way forward. Rebecca then goes on. Please do go and read the entire article. GLAD UK, the Association of LGBT Doctors and Dentists, is among the organisations who run the NHS Rainbow Badge Scheme. We described previously how GLAD has persuaded the General Medical Council to list doctors on the public register according to their self-declared gender identity rather than their sex. We are embedding fraudulent behaviour into the systems of everything, including the NHS, as can be seen here. As noted previously by Rebecca, the majority of UK medical schools have signed GLAD's charter. They've signed it already. They promise that they will only affirm patients' gender identity. This is the gay conversion therapy by transing. Gay conversion therapy by transing. Whatever it was we did, whatever it was we've been doing, it's not working, folks. It's not working. Now, I don't know what to suggest next, except that we keep writing, we keep talking, we keep using our connections, we keep badgering until this entire edifice is brought down, even if we have to do it one brick at a time. And I know that me, and I'm sure you today, are thinking, where the hell are we going with this? What are we doing? How are we going to stop them? And the only thing that I can think of is that we've got to keep raising awareness like we're doing, and maybe having to use the legal system like we're doing. But it seems like the fight is going to be never ending. And maybe that's true. But to think that the NHS, who have all the information at hand from CAS, the WPATH files, the history of the Tavistock, the history of the behaviour of the likes of Hartland and his cronies, they've got it all. They've got it all, and still they're doing this. Who's pulling the damn strings? Who's Geoffrey Palmer? I think that's the guy's name. So we got the first two miscreants, then we got Geoffrey Palmer. I want to know who these people are, and I want to know where they reside. The LGBT Foundation needs to be investigated by the Charities Commission. The LGBT Consortium, every organisation on there that's a charity, needs to be investigated by the Charity Commission. They are unfit for purpose. They are promoting gay conversion therapy. It's that simple. But we keep fighting because there's nothing else to do. We keep fighting. So take heart today. We've taken on things before and we've won. Two steps forward, one step back. This is very much like how this fight's going to be over the next 10 years, because that's how long I think it's going to take us to really make some headway. Not least of all because we're about to have 4 years of a totally bonkers government following a totally bonkers government that will not do anything. Where the hell's Rishi Sunak? He should be up at that podium this morning going, right, this ends and it ends now. It's not there. Where is he? I know that there are people in the party that are pushing to get things changed, but they're not doing it fast enough, because I tell you, by the end of the year, we're going to have an election and that's going to be it. And it'll be full steam ahead. It won't just be 2 clinics or 3 clinics. It'll be 10 or 15 or 20, because you know as well as I do that the money sloshing around from Big Pharma is going to help that happen. It's never ever been more important. But let's just keep going. Keep going. We have to. Because the next generation needs us. I'll see you later.